Welcome back to Mage Wars Academy. During our last video, we saw both players take their actions in the first setup round. As a reminder, the first two rounds of a game of Mage Wars Academy are called the setup rounds. During these rounds, neither player may attack with a creature or cast a spell that targets an opponent's objects in play. We join that game in progress at the end of the first round. To begin a new round, we start with the reset phase. During the reset phase, the wizard passes the initiative marker to the Beastmaster. Both players then reset their inactive creatures to active by turning their sideways cards upright. In addition, since both players use their quick cast markers, they then flip their markers to their face-up side. Finally, each player channels their mana, bringing both mages from a total of 0 to a total of 7. The Beastmaster has the initiative marker to begin this second round, signifying they will take the first activation. They immediately turn their mage card sideways, declaring they will cast a spell. They go into their spellbook, grab their second Witchwood Hound, pay the 5 mana, the spell's cost, and place the creature into play inactive. The Beastmaster could potentially use their remaining 2 mana for some optional plays. They could use it to cast a quick spell, using their quick cast marker as long as it costs 2 mana or less. However, they could also pay the reveal cost of their previously played Join Strength card. This would reveal it and buff their Witchwood Hound. However, they are still not 100% sure what their opponent has in store after this second of the first 2 setup rounds. So they reserve to hold their quick cast marker and save their 2 mana, passing their activation to the wizard. The wizard feels confident now that they are going to be dealing with an offensive player. Since this is the second of the first 2 setup rounds, the red-crested cockatrice cannot attack as much as it would like to. However, they may guard as its activation. To guard, the wizard declares a guard and activates the red-crested cockatrice, turning it sideways and placing a guard marker on it. Guarding is an action that can help the wizard greatly for the pending attacks. While guarding, if an opponent attempts to make a melee attack, which it looks likely that the Beastmaster will in this case, then the attacking creature must first attack another creature with a guard marker on it. This allows guarding creatures to act as blockers for melee attacks that may otherwise have inflicted damage on your mage. Since the red-crested cockatrice has 1 armor and 9 health, this is a good creature to guard with. However, guarding creatures also get an added benefit of the Counter-Strike trait. Counter-Strike allows a guard to melee attack its attackers, provided their attack bar has a quick attack icon, which the red-crested cockatrice does. In this case, this means the red-crested cockatrice's value as a guard skyrockets, because during a Counter-Strike, it gains melee +1 and piercing +1 abilities, which will allow it to roll an extra die and ignore 1 armor when dealing damage. The activation of guarding with the red-crested cockatrice is now over, and the wizard has the option of using their quick cast marker. This can be used before or after any friendly creature takes an activation. With 7 mana, the wizard has a lot of options. They decide to flip their quick cast marker, casting a quick spell, and putting into play the Sistaran robes, an equipment, by paying 4 mana. They place them into play next to their ability card, representing that the mage is now donned with these powerful robes. Not only do they offer the mage an armor to potentially prevent damage, but they have an added bonus of potentially gaining mana given the right circumstances as well. This ends the activation and optional quick cast for the wizard, so now the Beastmaster takes an activation. Since the last creature they have active is their Witchwood Hound they cast on round 1, and since both players are still in the first 2 setup rounds, remember that the Hound may not attack. Knowing this, the Beastmaster activates the Hound to guard with him as well, turning the Hound sideways, activating him, and placing a guard marker on the creature. While the Witchwood Hound may not be built for guarding, this is still a good tactical choice for the Beastmaster, as the Hound does have Join Strength attached to it, ready for later in the game should it be attacked. The Wizard now only has their Mage active to take an action with. With 3 mana left, they decided they will hold and simply turn their mage sideways to activate them, but take no action. This reserves their 3 mana in their mana supply for the next turn, which they know they will have initiative on. This concludes this round, and ends the first 2 setup rounds that begin every game of Academy. Once these setup rounds are completed, the gloves are off. From here, mages can cast spells that target their opponents and their objects, and most definitely attack with their creatures. all in the goal of dealing damage equal to their opponent's health and winning the duel. Your strategy, your choices, and your decisions will determine the outcome. It's time for you to test your skills at the Academy. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to learn more about Mage Wars Academy or Mage Wars Arena, please visit us online at magewars.com or at youtube.com/magewarsgame. Until we see you next time, enjoy testing your skills at the Academy.